No one warned us about this part of nursing, and it almost made me quit. Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Rene, DNP. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm happy that you're here. On today's section of my video, we're going to be debating the untold truth of nursing. We were always told that nursing is a calling. Nursing is fulfilling. Nursing is stable. But what they never told you about, nursing can become unstable. Nursing can become very heavy to bear at times. Yes, it is fulfilling. Yes, it is a great career. But the downfall of it, no one ever speak to anyone about it. And today we're going to talk about it. There are a few downfall of being a nurse. One is understaffing. You ever feel like you go to work happy-go-lucky and then you get to your unit and your patient ratio to nurse, it's undoable, but yet you can't walk out because that patient abandonment. Even if you wanted to do that, you need a paycheck. So therefore, you're stuck dealing with a higher load that you can possibly handle, right? You do not get extra pay for it, but you're expected to do that same level, to provide that same level of care as you would with a safer ratio. But no one ever talk about that part. When I took my first RN position at the emergency room, girl, I almost quit. The first few months being an ER nurse was traumatizing. It was heavy. I didn't feel like I was a nurse. I felt like I didn't know anything. I felt undersupported at first. But let me tell you something. I stuck it up. Like, I prayed about it. I go to work with like a clear mind most of the time and prepare myself for the chaos. My patient to nurse ratio was about 15-1. And that does not take into account the trauma, the code, the unexpected, the stable patient turning unstable on you, the lack of support from your management team. And don't get me started about the bullying in nursing. Yes, it's a real thing. Nurses do bully their younger nurses, and it's a fact. I've walked the walk. I've seen it all. But one thing I can tell you to overcome all of this is to keep your mind straight. Remember your why, the reason why you went into nursing at the first place. And don't let anybody bully you. You got to speak your truth respectfully, because they are nurses. You are a nurse. They have their license. You have your license. You're going to advocate for yourself, fight for your license, and protect your license. If at any time an assignment is unsafe, you have the right to talk about it. You have the right to have them rethink this entire assignment. Do not just take an assignment because it was given to you, because when you get called into court, you are going to be held at the same standard as any nurse who had a safer ratio because you did not say anything. Don't be that nurse. I've learned the hard way working in the ED. Yes, it shaped me to be that great nurse practitioner that I am today. But the first few weeks were horrible, horrible, horrible. That feeling like you always failing, no matter how hard you work, no matter how hard you restarted your nursing content, you're not alone. We all have been through that. But don't let that define you. Don't. It's just a stepping stone. It's like a staircase, right? You climbing slowly. But remember, it's only temporary. You're going to find your own niche. You're going to find your own nursing specialty. You're going to find your own method of getting through your day. Like, time management is a biggie. You have to practice your time management, and that's important because you don't want to work your 12-hour shift or 8-hour shift and have to stay another 2 hours unpaid. Why? Because you didn't finish your documentation, you didn't finish your med pass, you didn't finish a lot of other things that can get you written up. that can get you suspended or fired. Time management is important. And I will make another video on how to prepare your day so that it goes smoothly, that at 7 p.m. or 7:30 p.m. you're out of the door, or 8 p.m. Harvard when the nurse come on shift. But you do not want to stay over past your 30 minutes that you're getting paid for. And if you do for a valid reason, make sure you document it. Talk to your charge nurse so that you can get paid. Yes, you work for it, you deserve to get paid. Don't just take all the gimmicks they gave you. Now let's talk about the new grad shock. You've done nursing school, you went through the stress of passing your courses, you went to the stress of passing clinicals, you went to the stress of passing your NCLEX. Now you're going to the stress of being that nurse. It's not an easy thing. And then the heart racing every time that you have to walk into those doors. It's not even funny, but I can tell you, take it easy. Ask a lot of questions. Like, your seasoned nurses, they are there to help you. As they should. It doesn't always happen. Even though you get one of those mean nurses, they're probably good at what they do. So don't see their meanness. See how they can help you help you. So use them in your advantage. Don't take anything to heart. That's just how nursing is. You have to build tough skin. And if you don't, you're not going to last. Trust me. Feeling unsupported and disposable, it happened. But that support, you have to find your people. You ever heard of that saying? Wherever you work, you have to find your people. People that are going to help you succeed. People that don't want to see you fail. People that are going to be there if you have a silly questions. And there's no silly questions. But anyway, people that are going to there to mentor you. Find those people and stick with them, because that's important. You cannot get through nursing without someone, just like you couldn't get to nursing school without your peers or your partners in studying. So it's the same mentality. It just get rolled over onto a different title, right? Feeling like you're disposable? Yeah. The moment that you do something that your facility does not approve of, or your manager felt like you didn't do right, you could lose your job. Yes. In a minute. So make sure that you're not trying to please anyone, but you are trying to protect yourself. Remember, you into this thing to protect you and your patient. So think about it this way. I'm walking into those doors. I'm going to make sure that my patients are safe. I'm going to make sure that my license is safe. These things has to stay there. Otherwise, girl or friend, you're going to be in a big mess that you can't clean. Now, let's talk about what nursing school didn't teach us. Okay. They taught us the disease process, but not survival. All right. Now, earlier on, I've talked about advocating for yourself, and that's a big thing. Advocate for your assignment, advocate for safety, advocate for everything you could possibly think of that will protect your license and give you sanity. You need to set boundaries. In nursing, if you let people walk all over you or tell you what to do all the time, even though it's not in your benefit, they're not going to respect your boundaries. You have to set them, and you need to respect them first before someone respect those boundaries. You could say, get familiar with your facility or your unit policy and abide. That's like your Bible. The policy is your Bible. They're going to try to trick you, but if you know what the policy says and how many patients per nurse ratio, they cannot try you. Trust me. Abide by the policy and always advocate for yourself, because it leading us to that next step to protect your license. I'm going to drill this to your head as a new grad. You need to always protect your license. You work too hard for this license, so why would you let somebody put it in jeopardy? Okay. Now, the big thing is your mental health. Nursing is draining. If you don't find ways to make sure you protect your mental health, you're going to be drained, tired, angry, sad, all those emotions, you're going to go through them. So what I do to protect my mental health after a long shift, take 30 minutes to an hour, do something that you like to do, listen to music, podcasts, watch a movie. Um, if you're into meditation, meditate. If you are a Christian, take some time to pray, read the Bible. But your mental health, if you don't protect it, no one else will. Working in the ED, we have to shift our emotions so quickly. After a trauma, let's say if it's successful or unsuccessful, you cried, and then the next minute, let's say somebody randomly decided to give birth, and then you're happy to see the baby, and the next thing, your patient that was stable become unstable. Now you can't even think right, and so forth. It's like a roller coaster. As any honors, we are really, really, really traumatized. Don't get me started during COVID time when you have to sit there and hold a stranger's hand until they passed away. Reusing your N95, they give you a brown bag and you have to keep that mask in there for about 2 to 3 days. You have to sign to get a new one, staying in your geared, like your gown, your mask, your shield for long hours. You feel like you suffocate in your own self. You can't even breathe. Like the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide did not happen during those times. But what they do, they put a sticker on it and calling us healthcare heroes. But guess what? It means nothing because now with the big beautiful bill, they trying to stop us from going higher, from achieving higher education. They don't do anything to support nurses. Nurses should get free mental health. They should get like a free day to do other things besides nursing. Think for themselves at least. They should get that mental or moral support. They should get like a day, a free day to the spa or a therapy session. Like we need therapy, especially during COVID time working in the ED. It was very challenging for me. So I feel like all nurses, despite which area you worked from, need some form of therapy. And no one talk about that. They think we're supposed to be strong. We're supposed to be smiling. We're supposed to be polite. We're supposed to do all those things. But where is the support? There's no support for us. None. And let me tell you one thing. The healthcare system is surviving because we as nurses, we as healthcare professionals, we suffer in silence. No nurse would admit to being depressed or anxious. Oh no, you can't do that because that's such a stigma in healthcare. So we buried everything down. And God forbid, one day you latch out, whew, you're not a good nurse because you're not allowed to your emotions. That's like an emotional jail. And it's the truth. All right. So the truth that gives hope. Nursing does not have to destroy you. You could make this dream, that happy dream that you ever always dreamed of. Remember, in order to do that, you have to be strict on your boundaries. Your boundaries are important. They are not selfish, but important. You need to change specialty. Let's say you are in the ED and that's not for you, go into ICU. You're in the ICU, that's not for you, go into med surge. You go into med surge, it's not for you, go into oncology. That's the beauty of nursing. You don't want to see any patients, you don't want to do bedside, go into healthcare management. So there's so many avenues that can still give you that sense of pride, that sense of happiness, that feeling that you're doing something productive, that you're helping someone. You could do that. It doesn't always have to be on the bedside. It could be on the other aspect. My social workers, my nurse managers, they are great people and we need them. So find out what's really you. What part of nursing is you? That's the beautiful part about being a nurse. You can always evolve into whatever direction. You can always do that trial and failure. See which one works for you and which one doesn't, and find the one that works and stick to it. Okay. Living bedside doesn't mean leaving nursing. Just think about that. You still are helping your patients. You still helping your community. You still a nurse, just not at the bedside. That's all. um, Growth, education, and non-bedside options do exist. So if you're not such a people person, venture into those different areas. Okay. And remember, don't just stop at being a BSN nurse. Go higher, obtain your MSN, go for your DNP. And I earned my DNP. It's a terminal degree, and that's the a gift to myself. That's the biggest thing I could have done for myself because I love nursing. There's nothing I see myself doing more than being a nurse. So do get your certification, your TNCC if you are in the ER. Getting your certification is important. Your TNCC, your PALS, your med surg certification, oncology, whatever that is, your wound care certification, go for it. And if you are um, into business, then open your med spa, get like a doctor to oversee things. There's many things. Nursing is such a beautiful career. I know it's not always as it seems, but there are very much positive aspect. You've become more independent. For me, at least as an MP, when it comes to your finance and making decision. So I wouldn't see myself doing anything else besides being in the nursing industry. Yes, there's side hustles, but this is not what I want to do lifelong. So if this video made you feel seen, comment, I feel this. I want to see you comment, I feel this, right? So others know that they are not alone. We are a community. Nurses need to learn to support nurses. Season or new, we are under the same umbrella, so we shouldn't be destroying each other. So this is it for today. Subscribe for honest nursing content because the truth really matters. My next video will be on steps to be taken to apply for your doctorate in nursing practice. If this is of interest, make sure you tuned in. See you on the next one.